So today's class, we will discuss in detail about microprocessor and microcontroller, right? So, so both are different ICs, okay? So both does same operation. That is, it will fetch, decode, and execute. It will fetch the instruction from the memory. It will decode that. That is, it will convert into the machine level language, and it will execute that code. For example, the in the C language, int A. So that is a simple code, right? So that code will be fetched from the memory, and it will decode into machine level language. That is 0 to 1, zeros are 1. Then it will execute that, right? In assembly language, for example, we have move A comma B. That is A comma B. This is a simple assembly code. That is, you want to move a data from B to A. This is a simple instruction. So whatever the instruction we write by using a software, fail software, for example, for especially for microcontroller, if your program has this code, after completing your set of instructions for your application, these codes will be loaded into the memory. Okay. If it is a microcontroller, then these codes will be loaded in ROM, right? So what this microcontroller will do is, these codes will be automatically fetched from the ROM, right, which will be controlled by the control unit of the microcontroller, right? So this will be fetched and executed, decoded and executed. So this is your entire CPU of your microcontroller. This is the operation does by either it can be a processor or microcontroller. If it is a processor, then externally you should go with memory, that is ROM, that is read-only memory, where your sequence of coding is dumped into the IC. This coding is fetched here, decoded and executed. Okay, so this is the operation of any microprocessor or microcontroller. So coming to the difference, what is the difference between these two? Means the processor will have only these three blocks, right? One is ALU. What is ALU stands for? Anyone can tell me?
Arithmetic and logical.
Yeah, so any type of arithmetic and logic operations can be done by microprocessor. Okay, so this is the circuit. The internally there will be more number of transistors will be there. It is designed in such a manner. It will does arithmetic and logic operation. So you have studied digital design, right? So by using digital design knowledge, the ALU is implemented inside the microprocessor. Okay, that is we are getting into more internal to the microprocessor. Fine. And we have number of registers. What do you understand by the registers? Inside the microprocessor, one component we have seen, there is a ALU. There is another component, registers. So what is this registers?
Data shifting register.
Yeah, data can be stored by using these registers. For example, uh, even in a C coding or assembly coding, I told you simple example, move A comma B, the whatever the data in the B is moved to A. This is the operation of this instruction, right? So this is one register and this is another register. For any data manipulation or data transfer between one register to another registers. So that's why we use registers internal to the microprocessor. Okay. And all the operations, that is fetching a data from the memory or moving a data to the external world or doing any operation by using ALU, storing a data into the register to register, everything does by this control unit. Okay, so this is what we have inside the microprocessor. Okay, understand carefully. So a very important class today we have. If you understand today's class, the next class will be very easy for you. Okay, I think only one or two students are replying my answer. So I request all the students to listen carefully, understand this, what is microprocessor and what is microcontroller, because already told that microprocessor or microcontroller based system is the art of embedded system. Okay, whatever the, even in the Arduino board we have microcontroller Atmega 328. So what is the internal, the within the IC, what it has? For example, the microcontroller will have this CPU, this CPU. CPU is nothing but, what is CPU? I told previously. CPU is nothing but microprocessor. Processor is nothing but CPU. Along with this CPU, we have additional components, like it will have internal RAM, internal ROM, timer peripheral, interrupt peripherals, serial communication peripherals, watchdog timers, and ports. Okay, so these are all some internal components or peripherals. What we technically, what we say as a peripherals. Okay, so additionally, along with this processor, we have additional peripherals into it within this IC. So that is the benefit of microcontroller. So within the IC, we have additionally these peripherals. Whereas in processor, we do not have these peripherals. These peripherals should be external to your IC. For example, laptop. So laptop has a processor, but this RAM, ROM, everything is external to the processor. Whatever, what is RAM stands for? What is ROM stands for? Anybody can tell me?
Random access
Read only
memory.
memory and random access memory.
Random access.
Okay, good. So what next, coming to the another technical point, ROM stands for read only memory. Okay, so why this ROM is used, ROM IC, why it is used? Whatever the coding we develop, application coding, right? So you are developing some coding for your application, no, by in Arduino. So that every coding will be loaded in the ROM, read only memory. Okay. So, and then we have RAM. This is RAM is used for some internal purpose, that is move A comma B. So we have a register A comma B. So this A register and B register, everything will be there in RAM. A register, B register, and some of registers and temporary data to be stored inside the microcontroller. You can store it here. For example, in C language, I use int k equal to 0. So we will be having a temporary storage here. So here it will automatically, it will store this k value here with some specific address. That is, k will have some specific address that will be loaded here. Okay. So now you have come across what is the main purpose of this RAM inside the microcontroller. So we have a CPU which fetches, decodes and execute your instruction, where this instruction, the instruction will be whatever the instruction we coded using a software will be loaded in the ROM, that will be fetched and decoded and executed. So if at all in your program, if you use some other register value like A or B, that value is stored in RAM automatically. And we have additional peripherals for any applications. For timer applications, we can use timer. Can you, anybody can give you, can give me what is this timer? Timer if you do not understand, let me explain detailing about timer, interrupt, serial communications, everything. So in coming topic, we'll be studying about 8051 microcontroller in detail. Okay, no need to worry. So timer is used for some delay applications. Interrupt is used for at present I required any output, you can give an interrupt and you can get the output from the microcontroller or microprocessor. So serial communication, if you want to transfer a data serially to some other devices, so you can use this kind of peripherals. Okay, so in detail we'll study about the microprocessor. From this point you understand that, so inside the microcontroller we have a processor with some additional memory and peripherals. Okay, this is what you have to understand. Okay, let us have a simple uh, difference between these two, right? Right. So as we discussed, microprocessor as CPU. CPU is nothing but a microprocessor. It has what? It has ALU, it has registers, and it has control unit. It has three blocks, right, inside the CPU. And if you say, one second.
Sir, immediate sugar department. మీరు ఫంక్షన్ ஸ்ரீதேவி மேடம் மட்டும் ஒருத்தர் இருப்பாங்க. அங்க போயிட்டு நீங்க மீட் பண்ணணும். நீங்க டாக்டர் சார், மகேஷ் சார், இன்பா சார், ஆனந்த சார். சார் ஸ்ரீதேவி மேடம்
எப்போ வாட் டைம்
இமிடியேட்லி எனக்கு சொன்னாங்க.
இப்போ கிளாஸ் போடு.
ஆஃப்டர் எப்போ
11:10 to 12.
12 போயிட்டு வந்தீங்களா?
12 o'clock. நீ போறீங்க. Okay, let's start. So in microcontroller, we discussed there is a CPU. CPU is nothing but microprocessor. Additionally, we have RAM and ROM and other peripherals. Commonly, we say these as peripherals. In microcontroller, in embedded system, we say it is a peripherals. That is timer, communication, serial communications. So inside the serial communications, there are many peripherals. I2C, SPI, CAN, most. So we have many things. Okay. So depends on the controller. They have few communications. For example, 8051, it has UART is only one communication peripherals which is used in 8051. If you go to some other microcontroller like PIC microcontroller, ARM microcontrollers, we have more peripherals like SPI, I2C. Okay, we will that is advanced level. So as a basic level, you try to understand one by one. Okay. So and then even in previous class we discussed about where this microprocessor is used in complex application like desktop, PC, mobile phones, right? So the microcontroller is used in some simple applications, right? In house appliance like washing machine, air conditioner, traffic light control, printers, mouse, remote, car, and many applications. In car we have n number of applications. Even yesterday we discussed about cruise control and airbag safety system. So we have many things, many applications where we can use microcontroller. So it is wherever the specific applications, we can use microcontroller. General applications, we can use microprocessor. Very complex thing. Okay. So right, coming to some more points. The processor is more flexible. Why it is more flexible? See, if it is a microcontroller, the RAM, the timers, everything is fixed inside everything is fixed. Everything is fixed. Whereas processor, we can have externally with efficient requirement. I want to increase, I want more memory. I want to interface more timer. I want to interface more serial ICs. So I can do that. That's why it is more flexible. Okay, but whereas microcontroller is less flexible. Okay, that's why the processor is very costly than microcontroller. Though the microprocessor inside the microprocessor is inside the microcontroller, the cost of microcontroller is less, but the single microprocessor is costly. Why? In the sense it has more flexible. That is the main point, right? And then if you see the processor based system, if you, for example, laptop, so it is a very bulky. The microcontroller based system, remove the small mouse, you can see the size of the complete system will be very less compared to the microprocessor based system. Okay, and the simple example, the i7 processor, AMD processor, Raspberry Pi processor, 8085 processor. There are many types of processor. You can give us a simple example. And then the microcontroller IC name 8051, which we are going to discuss in this subject. And then we have Atmega 328. There are many n number of microcontrollers are there. These are all simple example for that. Okay. Right. So final last point, the microprocessor are always preferred for more complex tasks, and this is less complex. So these are all the very important points which you can write in the examination. So the examination they may ask in 5 marks. Very important topic, right? We'll discuss it. Okay. So any doubt here? I think this is one of the entry question for if you are getting into some embedded companies, Bosch, Continental, KPIT. So these are all the companies where they will ask for embedded engineer. So if you attend interview, then these are all the one of the entry question for you. Can you tell me what is the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller? If you tell these points, very easily you can they will come to know that you understood many things. Okay. So right. So let's discuss about the another topic, right? So von Neumann and Harvard architecture. Right. So this is the another topic. Okay. So before understanding this topic, I'll tell you a few points. So we have seen the processor, right? So we have a processor. So if it is a processor, then probably I told your application program will be loaded in program memory. We require some memory to be interfaced with your processor. Okay, this is the first point. Okay. So same thing, we have a processor. We are interfacing a program memory with processor. The method of interfacing this memory with the processor, we have different architecture here. So this is one architecture. This is another architecture. That is if you see the pictorial representation, Harvard architecture uses two lines to interface, one with processor and microprocessor and program memory, and another with microprocessor with data memory. But whereas in von Neumann architecture, they use processor with program memory and data memory with single bus. Right? Single bus is used. This is the simple architecture difference. Okay, this is simple architecture difference. Right. So any microprocessor or microcontroller follow this structure. If they are following this structure, then the particular microprocessor or microcontroller related to this architecture. That is, if processor is connected with a single bus, that is single conducting medium, where the data is transferred, instructions are transferred from processor to memory, that is von Neumann architecture. If they only for the instruction to be transferred by using one bus and data to be transferred by another bus, such kind of architecture, what we say as the Harvard architecture. Any doubt here? Any doubt? Anybody can answer me. It's very simple. By the diagram, you can
Sir, can you explain again?
Yes, yes. See, if you take any application, there will be a, for example, processor-based applications. Okay, processor should be interfaced with program memory and data memory. Sure, it is necessary for any type of application. Okay, because your coding should be loaded into the program memory. From the memory, the sequence of code will be executed by the processor. Okay, this is nature of any application. Okay. If the data memory and program memory uses same bus to transfer the instruction and data, that is, you have sequence of code, right? So that sequence of code will have data also, instruction also. So if for transferring data from program memory to processor and from processor to data memory, it uses same bus, single bus, then the architecture is von Neumann architecture. Okay. If the instruction from the program memory fetched to the processor, but whatever the data to be loaded into the RAM, if it is used other data lines, then such kind of architecture is Harvard architecture. Okay. So this is the quite simple thing, right? So for example, if you take any type of microprocessor or microcontroller IC, if they say the particular IC is von Neumann architecture, then you can decide that the memory and data, program memory and data memory uses single bus. And the data, if it is Harvard architecture, it is using two bus lines, one for program memory, another for data memory. In latest processor, they use this type of architecture. Why? In the sense to speed up the operation. In olden days, we have on von Neumann architecture. In recent days, they use Harvard architecture to execute the speed of operation. That's why today's laptop functions are very faster than olden days. Okay. Any doubt here? Students must understand this. Okay. I'm speaking technically advanced level. Okay. Just understand. So next we will speak about this von Neumann architecture with some points. Right. So here I told you, right, in olden days they used von Neumann architecture, that is ancient computer architecture. In recent modern computers, they use Harvard architecture. Okay. The common bus, that is single bus, is used for any data transmission or instruction transmission, whereas separate buses are used. As we have seen, right, two buses, one for program memory, another for data memory. So such kind of things, if that is the structure, then it is Harvard architecture. Any doubt here? Okay. Here, the same physical address can be utilized for instruction and data, whereas separate memory address is specified for instructions and data, because here both memory, that is ROM and RAM, are different. They use different physical address. Okay, for storing instructions and also storing data separately. Okay, so here CPU cannot access instructions and read or write data at the same time, because here, so if you see in previous slide, so here at the same time, you cannot read the instruction from the memory and you cannot write the data into the data memory. No, it is not possible. Whereas in Harvard architecture, at the same time, that is at the same instant, you can read the instruction parallelly, you can write the data into the from processor to data memory. That is the advantage of Harvard architecture. That's why in modern computers has this kind of architecture. Okay. So it requires only a single clock cycle to execute one instructions that we'll discuss what is instructions, everything, right? So yeah, the one human architecture is cheap and Harvard is very costly compared to one human architecture. Okay. The example of one human is the simple, I can say the processor, the simple personal computers, everything. And Harvard architecture, the modern computers and some microcontrollers. So inside the IC, microprocessor IC, we have seen that there is a CPU and data memory and program memory. So interface between these three ICs inside the IC will be Harvard architecture. Okay, so any doubt you can ask me now about these two topics, microprocessor and one human architecture. Any doubt you can ask me, please. If the question is wrong also, no problem, because you are very new to this subject, so it is very
What is
difficult to understand at the
data?
initial stage. Yes.
What is instruction and data?
What is?
Instruction and data.
Okay.
What is difference between instruction?
So instruction is what we say as a mnemonics. Okay. So mnemonics in the sense, for example, where I will give you one example. One second, I'll take blank sheet. So in assembly language, move A comma B. Okay. This is the instruction. Okay. What is data? Data is B equal to 10. Here, 10 is the data. 10 is the data. Data is within the instruction now. Right? So this 10 is the data which is going to move to A. Right? So by instruction only, you can able to program your application. Within the instruction, there will be a data. Okay. For example, see, for example, here I will explain. Let us assume here it is better here. So I have instruction here, move A comma B. Okay. Processor is going to execute this move A comma B. The A and B register, let us assume, which is in data memory. Let us assume A and B. Okay, in B, we have 10. 10 is the data. If the processor fetches this instruction, decodes and executes. Okay, if it is executes, what it happens after the operation, this 10 data, which is there in the B register, is moved to A register. After execution, even A register will have data as 10. Any doubt here? Okay. So instruction is the is a code. We have it is framed by the programmer in such a way, in such a manner to develop any type of applications. Okay. Right. So these two topics are very important. So you may expect a 5 mark in internal or in final exam also. Okay, very important thing.